Some of the most interesting work that's been done for this visual narrative class has been the collaborative project. In this project, I group students and they work together. Last year, they were required to do the entire project always in the presence of other members of the group. So none of it could be done by using cell phones or computers or digitally, period. It all had to be done face to face. You might find it interesting that the difference between outsider artists and folk artists, both groups, both titles are people that are untrained outside of the academic environment, but an outsider artist is a artist that's working individually. Folk artists work in groups. There's much value in working in groups. Best case scenario, the groups pull from each other's strengths. It can really be a beautiful thing when that works well. First thing I'm going to do is show you a project done by a group that was exploring mixed media photography, and they actually played with the idea of Winona Lake becoming a world travel center. So they were feeling apparently a little claustrophobic of just being in Winona Lake, so they brought the world into the village itself. Another project was a sequential story where they wrote the story together and illustrated it and colored it. Another group made a board game using a lot of their graphic design skills. I had two ladies work on a project that celebrated their love for fashion, music, and poetry. One artist actually collaborated with herself, and she pulled artwork that she had done at different stages of her life. In the group, there was a woman who had two children, and so they decided to interview the kids, had the kids write a story, and then the group created a picture book that they printed based on the children's story. So that ended up being really a delightful project. When is a piece of art done by an individual your own, and is it really kind of ethical to just call it your own? It's kind of the Andy Warhol and the factory. This also, of course, extends out to hokusai and Japanese printmaking, hiroshige, the idea that people that were carving the engravings weren't putting their chops on the prints. In collaboration, how even does it need to be among the group? How do you decide who gets celebrated? So some of these issues will become part of your professional career practice.